I'm Terry Williamson here at Bryce Canyon National Park in Utah. We're at Ruby's Inn Campground, which is really nice and huge. We're only here for 2 days, so it's hard to do it justice. But I rode the shuttle today, and I saw all the sights I could see. It's just breathtaking. And now I know what a hoodoo is. If you don't know what a hoodoo is, Google it. You get a better explanation than I can give you. But Bryce Canyon is the only place that we've seen hoodoos, and they're just so amazing. The shuttle system works great here. One big difference between Bryce and Zion is just full of e-bikes, and they really get in the way of the shuttle buses. Here at Bryce, you just don't see any e-bikes, and the shuttle buses here run more frequently than they do at Zion. I have not waited 1 minute on a shuttle bus here at Bryce. As soon as I get off of a viewing area or a short hike, as soon as I get back to the shuttle stop, here comes a shuttle bus. The sign says they run every 8 to 15 minutes, but maybe that's true. Maybe I was just lucky, but I never waited 1 minute. The weather out here is great. It gets down into the 30s at night, but it gets up into the 80s during the day. So it's great. I went out this morning at I think I left about 9 or 9. I think I left at 9, and it was a little chilly. I had a sweatshirt on, but I didn't have that on but 30 minutes before I took that off. The weather is just really great.
Yeah, this is where we walked from.
went to, this is Terry Williamson. Cheryl and I are on a trip out west with our camper. We left Bremen, Georgia and headed out to Route 89, which for us started in Flagstaff, Arizona. We were going to go north on 89. The one thing I want to tell you, if you do this trip, Interstate 40 just beat us to death. It beat our camper to pieces. I don't know if there's a better route. I just know that Interstate 40 is rough. You know, it's not rough all the way, but there was a lot of rough interstate in Oklahoma. And when I say rough, I mean potholes that they had patched with asphalt that were still rough. And you know, you try to straddle the potholes or miss the potholes, but you can't miss them or straddle them. There's so many of them, you just can't do it. And there's so much traffic on Interstate 40, you just don't have a choice. One other route is Route 66, which picks up, of course it comes out of Chicago and comes down to Texas, and somewhere in Oklahoma, you can get off of Interstate 40 and get on to Route 66. But Route 66 is old and not that maintained. It's rough too. Route 66 will beat your camper to pieces. So I haven't decided how we're going to go home. If I do take Interstate 40 home, I'm going to drive 55 miles an hour. Try to miss all the potholes. Hey, this is Terry Williamson. Cheryl and I are out at Bryce Canyon National Park. I have one thing to say to you. Hoodoos, hoodoos, hoodoos. They're everywhere. If you've never seen a hoodoo, like I've never seen a hoodoo, come to Bryce Canyon National Park. You'll see hoodoos everywhere. You don't know what a hoodoo is? Google it. Fury-Eye S camera system. I made sure I got this when I bought the camper. I've got a Bighorn 36.5 foot fifth wheel. It's a 2024 camper, so it's fairly new. I've got side view cameras and a rear view camera on the camper. And it comes in handy when you're riding down the road. If you want to see the traffic behind you, you just tap the screen and that turns on the rear view camera. I don't ever use the left and right one, but same thing. If you want to see what's passing you or on the side of you, you can tap those cameras. Well, it worked fine about halfway out on Interstate 40, but then, like I've said before, Interstate 40 was just beating our camper to pieces, and I think all that shaking shook something loose because the rear camera quit working. So when we got designed, I crawled up on the ladder and the antenna on that camera was loose. So I thought, I had found the problem. I tightened that antenna. It really seemed loose enough to fall off. But anyway, I tightened that antenna, checked the camera system, and it had started working again. So when we left Zion, the camera was working. But not far down the road, the camera quit working again. So I just assumed the antenna had come loose again. We get to Bryce Canyon, I get up on the ladder again, and that antenna was on tight. I took it off and put it back on. And got in the truck. You have to be hooked up to the camera, so that the truck has to be hooked up to the camper so that you have power going to all the cameras. So I got in the truck and checked, and my cameras were working again. But I still think there's a short in that system somewhere. I expect when I get in the truck to leave Bryce Canyon tomorrow that camera's not going to be working. So we'll deal with that later. It's not something I need or something that I use. It's just a nice thing to have when you're riding down the road. That's a Furion S camera system. Hey, this is Terry Williamson. Cheryl and I are out at Bryce Canyon National Park. I have one thing to say to you. Hoodoos, hoodoos, hoodoos. They're everywhere. If you've never seen a hoodoo, like I've never seen a hoodoo, come to Bryce Canyon National Park. You'll see hoodoos everywhere. You don't know what a hoodoo is? Google it.